You're watching Soleful Discussions.
All right, so hi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing great. How do we meet today?
Randomly.
Randomly, absolutely. So I approached
campus.
you earlier and you're like, well, I have class, but see me later. And I was just kind of like walking the campus, just
Absolutely.
asking other women, but then I just happened to run back into you, so that was pretty dope.
Meant to be.
Absolutely. So what did I approach you about? What are we doing today?
You asked me to marry you. Just kidding. You asked me if I was willing to interview for your channel.
Uh-huh.
And you told me there'd be some really cool topics.
All right.
And I was open-minded and willing to spend some time with you.
Absolutely, and that's pretty dope. Do you remember the topics we're going to cover? 3 topics.
Mental health.
Uh-huh.
Reflexology.
Uh-huh.
There's a third one.
Yeah. I just got to talking about
Oh, feet.
There you go. Let me ask you this. When you think about feet, what comes to your mind first thing?
Foot massages.
Foot massages. Okay. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. Just feel free to give me whatever your opinion is, how you feel about it. Just make it natural, okay? What about mental health? When you hear that term, anything come to mind?
A lot, actually. I think it's on the forefront of what's going on in today's society. It's something that it was and maybe still kind of can be a bit taboo in certain households.
Yeah.
People are not willing to actually admit that their loved ones or perhaps themselves, they may have a mental health issue or a concern. Because you think mental health, most people think crazy.
Exactly.
Or, and there's really no reason why people should not actually address their mental health.
Absolutely. Today we're going to talk a little bit about during the holidays, right? Kind of stress relievers, things that you do to make sure that it doesn't get to you too much, right? Because that's usually the time where it's mostly it hits people really hard, right?
Yes.
Cool. Lastly, reflexology. You familiar with that?
I've heard of it, and I'm familiar with the term.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna give some information today, and it'll just kind of encompass what reflexology is, and you could just tell me what your thoughts are. Do you think that that's cool or whatever it is? Okay. Let's start with the first question.
Okay.
How do you manage your stress during the holiday season?
I meditate.
Okay.
I do weekly sound baths.
Oh, nice.
I do either twice a week, 3 times a week yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And I do guided meditations every morning and every night. So throughout the year, not just during the holidays.
Yeah.
I stay as centered as possible.
That's really dope, man. Sound baths, I've heard about that recently, man. That's a game changer right there.
It's sound therapy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really changes the vibration and the frequency of your body.
I love that. What are some routines or must-haves for you during the holiday season? Is there anything that you I have to do this or I have to have that?
Well, tradition, you want to make sure you decorate the tree with the kids. I think consistency is important for everyone, and not everyone does well with change.
Yep.
So like you said, being in that comfort zone, so making sure, hey, we're gonna decorate the tree. We're talking holidays here. I bake some cookies. We're all gonna gather.
Nice.
Decorating a gingerbread house are things that I do.
That's dope.
Buying matching
Pajamas?
It's a thing.
Yeah, that is.
This year I was able to get both sisters and their families to wear pajamas.
Oh, that is dope.
So it's a thing now. And next year we have a whole other theme going on.
Oh, wow.
And really my family's kind of religious, so obviously it's Jesus' birthday.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's
celebrating
really
that as well.
It's more gathering and remembering the ones that are not here with us,
Yeah.
So it's changed over the years,
Absolutely.
what it was and what it is today.
Yeah, because there's some people who are not with you to kind of bring their spin to what it is too, right?
The most important thing is family.
And
enjoying the time that we have because it's precious and we're on borrowed time.
Absolutely. In your opinion, the world would be better if
we were all just a little bit nicer and kinder.
Absolutely.
And patient.
Yeah, and that's kind of been a running theme that I've been getting since I started asking that question. Just being nicer to people, man. You don't have to be, out here just going hard on people for no reason, not understanding what somebody else might be going through. That's really dope.
Everyone just slowed down.
Yeah.
And
just
just
take your time.
and just stayed present.
And
really just this moment right here,
Yeah.
we'll never get back.
Absolutely.
So it's so important that we just really really appreciate.
Appreciate it for what it is.
Waking
Absolutely.
up on the right side of the dirt,
Man.
and giving thanks, gratitude list, like those little things that helps you check in.
Yeah.
Instead of being checked out there, and just kind of like existing instead of living.
Very much so. Very
Absolutely.
much so. Good vibes only, or acknowledge everything that I'm feeling.
Say that again.
Good vibes only, or acknowledge everything that I'm feeling.
Everything.
Okay.
How do you accept the good if you can't accept the bad?
Yeah, absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
how do you know? Like, how do you enjoy the sunny day if you couldn't appreciate
The
rainy
rain.
weather 24
Yeah.
hours ago?
Yeah, and I was like, one of the things I was saying was, I've gone up to Sacramento a couple of times over the last couple of months, and you'll see like the signs from like the farmers about like they're in a drought, and I'm like if nothing else, this is for them, like to like, because they sometimes suffer and stuff. They have to like lose crops and different things like that
Right.
because they don't get the rain. I'm like, I felt good for them to be able to have it. I was like, yeah, so what? You might get a little wet, all that, but somebody else is gonna benefit from it. So
somebody
like,
did the rain dance for them. And
Yeah.
they got inundated with water.
yeah, man, we had about 5 days like straight. That was
yeah.
dope. That's dope. When I think about my feet, I feel.
When I think about my feet,
Uh-huh.
well, being that I had a recent foot injury, I feel grateful that I have my
There
feet.
it is. Yeah.
That I get to get up and actually walk on my own 2 feet without any assistance.
Man. It's so big because like, and I always remember an analogy when I start talking about these things. I remember my pastor used to always talk about, he would say a parable about like the guy who would complain about like he didn't have any shoes and this and that, and he's like, he looks over and sees the guy with no feet, and it's like it puts
Right.
things into perspective for you, because it's like sometimes we are not thankful kind of for like what we have, right? We want,
Absolutely.
I need this and I need to have that, and it's like you have plenty right now. There's some people who have it even worse. So
Absolutely.
I think that that's really dope that you mentioned that. Like,
It's
just-
important to acknowledge that our needs are met and that our wants are just things that we have to go out there and continue to pursue if we really want them.
Absolutely. That's really dope. If someone complimented me on my feet, I would feel
Thankful
Okay.
that they acknowledged. I always get complimented on my feet, so I could say I'm used to that type
Yeah.
of feedback.
yeah.
But how would you feel if they did the opposite of complimenting?
Ooh.
You know?
That's one I need to add in here. If
Yeah.
somebody said like something negative about your
Yeah.
feet, how would you feel? I'm gonna add that.
How would I feel? I would say, mind your own business. Or I would say, thank you for that. I really appreciate
Yeah.
you taking it into consideration.
Yeah,
Or I
that's
would
dope.
say,
Or sometimes just don't say anything, like, right? You don't even need to acknowledge, like, sometimes, like, somebody has something negative to say. It's just, maybe just having a bad day.
well, I feel like if you don't acknowledge
Yeah.
bad behavior or negative
They'll
comments,
continue it.
Yeah, so you kind of have to maybe say, like it's like a child when they're doing something wrong.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't correct them, they're not going to know they're doing wrong.
Yeah.
They're going to continue that behavior.
That's a very good point. That's a
So
very good point.
I'd be like, thank you. I think so too. That would be my response.
Yeah, and they'd just be shocked, like, what? Like,
Right.
Interesting. When a man compliments me, I feel. And not just about your feet, but in general.
In
just
general?
compliments, yeah.
I feel good about myself.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's like I'm like a flower. You're watering my garden. I'm getting some sunlight.
Yeah.
I don't take it like they want something from me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how awesome. Maybe this person woke up on the right side of the
Right
bed.
side of the bed, man.
And
yeah.
they're just like, I'm going to spread just
some joy out there and some different
random,
things.
hey, I
Yeah.
like your smile.
Yeah.
Like your hair looks great today.
I love that. I
So,
love
you know
that.
what it is? It's acknowledgement that I'm present. You're acknowledging me, whether it's paying me a compliment or telling me good morning.
Absolutely.
And that's
Absolutely.
what the world needs more.
We need more of
these
that,
days.
man. Absolutely. When a woman compliments me, I feel.
Well, the same.
Okay.
Very confident. For a woman to compliment another woman,
Yeah.
that says a lot about that woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
She has some like major confidence and things like that.
And that's some good
absolutely,
energy. When a woman, because we don't get a lot of that
Yeah.
these days,
Mhm.
when another queen is adjusting another queen's crown, you're like,
Yeah.
that is a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Because we're here to lift each other up.
Yeah,
and
man.
not shoot our wounded. If you're like, hey sister, look at this. You're like,
Yeah.
you focus on the good and not the bad.
That's dope. That's dope. How often do you get pedicures during winter?
During the winter,
Yes.
probably monthly, not as often because
Okay.
you're not actually showing
Okay.
your feet off.
So this is always that one for me that like, cause I get different reactions with this one. I've gotten some women who are like, you like, well,
Yeah.
not really showing my feet off like that, so I don't really.
Yeah.
Then I get the other women who are like, I like to maintain that. Even if I'm not gonna get a color,
Yeah.
I'll just get the clear coat and like make sure it's
Well,
like
I'll do it at
maintained.
home.
So you do your own
I'll
self-care.
do my own.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That makes
Self-care
sense.
is like part of mental health.
That is
You know,
absolutely.
taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
You're keeping your cuticles cut
Keep 'em
down.
cut,
Shaving
yeah.
is part of mental health
Yeah.
because you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
Coconut oil after a shower is amazing.
Oh man, you got all the tricks, man.
There's a list that you should do at least like 3 things of self-care a day.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be something major.
Yeah, just something small, like those gestures to yourself, like appreciating you.
Yeah.
That's definitely great.
Absolutely.
How often do you wear open-toed shoes during the winter?
In the winter?
Yeah.
Well, at home I wear slides or like slip-ons.
Okay,
You
got it.
outdoors?
Yeah, I'm saying like if you're going like kind of like the weather is today, right? Would this be a day where you'd be like of course you're here already, but like it was kind of
Right.
cold earlier. But I'm saying if you were leaving the house now, would you be like, I'm gonna go ahead and put on some
Probably
sandals
not.
or something?
If
Okay.
I was going to the beach, absolutely.
Okay,
Even if
okay.
it was chilly, but if I was going to be in the beach, in the sand,
I got
of
it.
course, you want to get that connection between you and earth, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, man.
But in the winter, not really.
Okay.
But
got
in my
it.
home, it's mandatory, no shoes.
No shoes, man. Take them
Yeah.
shoes off, man.
That's right.
Absolutely. All right. In this moment right now, can we see what your feet look like?
Yeah, you want to see my feet?
Yeah, sure.
Oh my goodness, okay.
All right, cool. And then you can leave your socks on for now. Just take your shoes
Just
off.
my shoes?
Yeah, just take your shoes off.
Okay.
We're gonna go step by step.
Okay, well,
All right. And we
these
got.
are-
Are these those are Vans?
They're
socks right
Vans,
there?
no shows.
Okay, cool.
My son works at Vans. So.
Okay, oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Okay, and then maybe you take that one off.
Well, I had surgery on
Oh.
this foot.
Oh,
So-
maybe you take that shoe off too.
This is my scar.
Okay.
That's what happens when you do the kid and play.
She's doing the kid and play. She said to me. All right, let me have you take that shoe off.
Okay. This is fun.
All right, and this is different. I'm pretty sure you probably never done nothing like
Yeah.
this before. All right, cool. And then you can go ahead and take that sock off. Okay. And then what I'm gonna have you do is let me have you put your feet down flat here, like kind of bend your knees and just put your feet down flat.
Can you tell I'm definitely due for a pedicure?
Actually, it looks like
Yeah, a little bit.
maybe like 2 weeks old. Is it like 2 or 3 weeks?
Almost hitting a month.
Almost hitting a month.
Yeah.
Okay, but they still look really nice, and I would say your toes are more on like the slender side. Is that correct?
Very. I have like
Absolutely.
fingers for toes.
Absolutely. And it looks like, if I'm telling by your toe alignment, is your second toe slightly longer?
It is.
Slightly longer. So that's called the Grecian toe alignment. I don't know if you know that, but there's like different toe alignments.
Yeah.
So there's like an Egyptian toe alignment,
Yeah.
which is like the bigger toe being bigger,
Yeah.
and then this one is the Grecian, the Greek toe, right
I'm
there.
Greek.
Are you?
I am.
There it is. That always happens. All right, let me have you put your feet out straight, and then
Straight like this?
straight like this. Yeah, straight out.
Okay.
All right, cool. And so, how are you feeling? Like we met earlier, but then we met again. We've been talking for like 12
I'm
minutes.
very comfortable.
Very comfortable.
Absolutely.
Very comfortable. Cool. And I talked to you about the exposure therapy.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question and leave your feet up. We're gonna go through a couple
Okay.
more exercises.
Yeah.
The exposure therapy. After I talked to you about it, what were your thoughts about practicing that? Like, because like there are times in life where we're presented with situations, and sometimes like naturally we're like, well, I don't feel comfortable with that, so I'm not gonna do it. What are your thoughts on like kind of pushing yourself sometimes to like, let me just step out of my comfort zone and see what happens? What are your thoughts?
I'm a fan.
Okay.
I'm all about that.
Nice.
That's how you learn. That's the whole point of a life experience.
Yeah.
Is like otherwise you have no experience. It's like your resume stays really small.
Very
'cause you
much
never
so.
like put yourself out there, you know?
How often would you say like you practice that?
Often.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm probably the one person that takes the most risks in my family.
That's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope. Have you experienced more good times because of that? Like more positive
You
experiences?
could turn everything into a positive. You know?
It might start as a negative, but it's like then
I mean, I could tell you might have been like, looking back, you might have wanted made some different choices in your life.
yeah.
But you could turn those moments into assets or opportunities
I
of
see.
growth.
Absolutely.
You know, so you never really know, like, you know, we can both see the same accident or have the same scenario into the same household and walk away from that
See something differently,
becoming
right?
a better version because
Yeah.
you use it as an example going forward in your life, you know?
Yeah, I use that example all the time.
Yeah.
Like when I'm talking to my team members at work, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, everybody has a different perspective on something. We can all look at the same thing, and I'll see one thing, you'll see something else, this person. And I was like, it doesn't mean anybody's wrong in what they're seeing. It just means that we're seeing something different. So that's why we come together.
Collectively.
We bring that information together because now you can share with me what your experience is. I can share with you my experience, and then we make some decisions based on that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Let's talk about reflexology real quick. Reflexology is all about the different pressure points, right? In your hands and in your feet, right? Those pressure points actually like connect and correlate like to different parts of your body. So let's say, for example, through like massage, through acupuncture, acupressure, you can alleviate like stress and tension to various parts of your body. So let's say, for example, you're somebody who deals with migraines, right? You get really intense migraines. Actually, a portion of your hands and feet you can massage in those moments that will alleviate that tension. Now, I don't know if you're aware of it, but on your feet, if you just do your toes like this. So right here at the base of your big toe, right? Both sides.
Okay.
You apply some pressure, massage in a circular motion. You can use some essential oils if you like. You can do the same thing in your hands right here in the palm. Alleviates that tension. Also, piercing you can get that will alleviate that tension from migraines too.
I got it.
And she has it. There it is. There it is. What are your thoughts about that?
I think our body is just this beautiful, mysterious thing for us to discover. I'm a fan of acupuncture. I do it 2 to 3 times a week.
Nice.
So I'm fully aware of the benefits of acupuncture. I've had prior migraine moments, so I think getting where you actually have the acupuncture done. So if the pain is at a specific limb or part of your body, that's not usually always the part you want to massage. It can be released at different parts.
Absolutely.
So I'm a huge fan of Eastern medicine.
That's so dope. That's so dope. Glad to hear you talk about the experiences, everything. It's really dope. So, when we get to reflexology, we usually talk about sensitivity. All right. How ticklish do you tend to be?
I think I'm pretty ticklish.
When you get pedicures, like
no, because they're not like light. My girl knows she needs to go hard. I'm here to get it. I'm here for some
I'm here
relief.
for you to get those calories.
I'm here for some relief.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Do you mind if we test it on camera so that I can show you a trick? And I have like a little tool to use. Is that cool?
Do the right, not the left, though.
Oh, because I know you just had
my,
your surgery right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
no worries. Cool.
Okay.
Just tell me what area you feel it in the most, and then I'm going to show you what my trick is, and you just tell me, does it work? Or what were your thoughts about it? Sound good?
Okay.
All right, cool. Let me actually have you hold that for me just for a second. Cool. Cool. All right. Let's do this. All right.
You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to start from bottom.
Okay.
And we're going to work our way to the top. You just tell me where you feel it at, okay? And then...
I feel it.
You feel it?
All the way, yeah.
Where do you feel it at more, though? Like, it's usually a certain section that you're going to feel it in a little bit more than others.
Probably like my arch or my
So,
heel.
like, right in here and then in here.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I want you to do.
Okay.
I want you to go ahead and wiggle your toes while I'm doing it. You tell me if you feel it more or less. Wiggle here, okay?
In my arch?
Yeah, do you feel it more or less like when I'm doing this?
About the same.
About the same,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Try to do it a little faster. Let's see.
Wiggle faster?
Yeah, let's see. More or less?
Less.
Less, okay.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be, do you know why?
I think because I'm focusing on the wiggle and I'm not focusing too much on the touch.
So that's part of it, but also too, right? So when you wiggle your toes, you move the energy from like one spot to like the other. So you can't feel it in that section.
Okay.
So that's a little trick for you to do, like when you're feeling like that.
Good to know.
In terms of a couple questions here to wrap up.
Yes.
In terms of, let's say somebody came to you, someone you knew, they wanted to pay for you to get a pedicure. What would your thoughts be on that? How would you feel about that?
Pay it forward.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Let's say somebody you came to, hey, how's it going? Long time no see. Yeah. Let's say somebody you didn't know came to you and wanted to treat you to a pedicure. What would your thoughts be?
Why not?
Absolutely. So in this moment right now, I'd like to offer to treat you to a pedicure on behalf of my channel. As a way to say thank you. What would your thoughts be on that?
Same, absolutely.
Okay, cool. We'll set something up afterwards.
Okay, for sure.
Let's wrap up the interview. In terms of my approach coming up to you earlier, asking you to do the interview, did you find my approach to be good? Was it bad? What were your thoughts about it?
I felt your energy.
Okay.
I thought it was great, and that's why I accepted to sit with you and talk.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
In terms of the interview, start to finish, right? What were your thoughts about the questions? Did you feel like they made sense? Did you feel like you learned anything new from the information that we were talking about today? What were your thoughts?
I love the questions that you had. I think it gave the opportunity to actually put some thought into what was going to be said. It gave us the opportunity to connect on a level that, it's not questions that you ask normally either on campus or just in general on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I think there are things that we should be talking about, mental health. People don't talk about feet as often.
Yeah.
Which I talk about feet a lot, which is so funny that you said to
Yeah,
me.
'cause
And reflexology, there should be more awareness on reflexology.
absolutely.
So maybe this will be the thing where someone's like, "Yo, do you know about reflexology?"
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
It's
and
kind
I-
of happy feet over here on Artesia, you know, like or
Yeah.
something like that.
And I've been getting more of that because people find my channel from different ways because of like, hey, we're talking about feet, we're talking about mental health, we're talking about reflexology, and that's why I wanted to encompass those things
Right.
together to like kind of create like an experience for people and things like that. Absolutely. The last thing I always ask, from a mental health standpoint, a life lesson you learned, wise words somebody shared with you that you could share with the channel that could be helpful.
Ooh.
And don't overthink it.
Ooh.
Whatever comes to your mind, just whatever you're thinking.
Wow, that's super important. I think the big one is speak up. You
Okay.
know,
Nice.
there's no shame in feeling any way about yourself
Absolutely.
and asking for help.
Nice. I
Very
like that.
important.
I like that. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate you stopping to like have this discussion with us and
Appreciate it.
everything.
Thank you as well.
All right, and we hope that you have a great one, okay?
You too. Thank
All
you.
right.